Parameterization. Parameterization. First chapter index. What is parameterization? What is parameterization? Next, purpose of parameterization. Purpose of parameterization. Next, what is data driven? Data driven testing. Next, why data driven testing? Why data driven testing? Next, relation between parameterization and data driven testing. Next, how to parameterize. How to parameterize. Next, ways of parameterization. See, we have different ways for parameterization. We will discuss all possible methods, but in real time you no need to use all methods. Based on your company environment, you can use. All methods not required, but we will discuss all methods. See, first, what is parameterization? Parameterization is global feature, not only in test automation. You can find this feature in all programming languages and scripting languages. You take C, C++, Java, Oracle. In database also parameterization concept is there. In Oracle, procedure language is there. You take any programming language or scripting language, you can find parameterization term. This term is global term. Data driven testing is local term. Okay, what is parameterization? Have any idea, Sujata? What is parameterization?
Replacing constant values with parameters is called parameterization.
Yes. Replacing constant values. Constant means fixed value. Say, replacing constant. Here constant means fixed. This is English constant. English term constant. VBScript constant also there. That is different. Replacing constant values with parameters is called parameterization. Okay. What is the purpose of parameterization? Suppose login functionality is there. For that we are using fixed values, user ID, password. User ID is ABCD, password for example XYZ. That ABCD and XYZ are constant values, fixed values. If you execute that script for 10 times, every time it uses ABCD as password, XYZ, ABCD as user ID, XYZ as password. Every time same values, fixed values. Suppose if you want to use different values, you need to parameterize. Say, purpose of parameterization. Two advantages. First advantage, to pass multiple values. to pass multiple values. Why we need to pass multiple values? For data driven testing. Next, to pass single value. See, not only parameterization means not only passing multiple values, even passing single value also parameterization. But data driven testing means passing multiple values only, passing single value meaningless. See, to pass multiple values. Why we need to pass multiple values? For data driven testing. Okay. Why we need to pass single value? Okay. Sometimes we pass single value. When? Suppose I have a user defined function. Suppose I have a function, login function. I want to use single values only for login function. User ID, password. Suppose I am calling that login function from 10 tests. I am calling login function from 10 tests. Test 1, test 2, test 3, like that. For every test I want to use different usernames and passwords. For test 1, user ID 1, password 1. Example. For test 2, user ID 2, password 2. Single value but different value. For test 3, user ID 3, password 3, like that. See, single value only but every time different value. To do this, we can use parameterization. Understand the concept, Madhuri? Parameterization. Purpose of parameterization. What is the purpose of parameterization?
To pass multiple values. And to pass single values.
Single values. Okay. What is data driven testing? Sujata, what is data driven testing?
Testing the same functionality using multiple sets of test data.
Here multiple values mandatory. Say, testing the same functionality using multiple sets of test data. Okay. Next, Kanti. Suppose for one input my application is responding fine. Suppose username ABCD, password XYZ, login is working fine. Then why we need to test with multiple usernames and passwords? Why we need to use multiple sets of test data?
To check where the system fails, like for if it's accepting all the usernames and passwords or for some.
Okay, less clarity. Aarti.
Checking the reliability of the test.
Checking the reliability of the test. That is secondary purpose, not primary purpose.
Positive and negative testing?
Yes. For positive and negative testing. For positive and negative testing. Say, primary purpose of data driven testing is positive and negative testing. Negative testing. Say, for valid inputs my application is responding fine. What about handling invalid inputs? It has to accept valid inputs and prevent invalid inputs. Okay. Next, relation between parameterization and data driven testing. Say, we use parameterization feature in data driven testing. See, we use parameterization feature in data driven testing. Next, what is the difference between parameterization and data driven testing? Difference. See, parameterization, data driven testing means passing multiple values only. Passing single value meaningless. But parameterization means not only passing multiple values, even passing single value also parameterization. Find the difference, Sujata.
Yes, sir.
Tell me what is
Data driven testing means passing multiple values only. But parameterization means not only passing multiple values but also passing single value.
Good. Next, how to parameterize. How to parameterize. Say we have different containers available for carrying the values. We can use either VBScript variables, constants, VBScript constants. Next, arguments, we use arguments in functions. We can use either variables or constants. See, earlier we used the term constant, that is English constant. This is VBScript constants. In a descriptive programming chapter, we used VBScript constants or arguments or action parameters or data table parameters or environment variables or dictionary object keys as parameters. See, we have different containers. I will introduce all containers, but if it is test level, we prefer variables. Forget about remaining all. Two things important. One is variables, another is arguments. If it is test level, we prefer variables. If it is function level, we use arguments. Okay. Can you tell me, Madhuri, how to parameterize? Madhuri.
We can use either variables or constants or arguments or action parameters or data table parameters or environment variables or dictionary object keys as parameters.
Okay. Next, practical concept, ways of parameterization. Already I told we have different ways for parameterization. You no need to use all ways. You no need to use all methods. Based on your company environment, you can follow. See here, first one, generate and pass values using loop statements. First I will list out all possibilities, then examples. Next, dynamic test data submission. Dynamic test data submission. Next, using data table. See, using data table again, three methods. One is enter, usage of data table. Enter test data directly into data table and connect to the test. Next, import test data from external files. Here we use either text files or Excel files and connect to the test. Import test data into data table and connect to the test. Next, import test data from a database, any database, into data table and connect to the test. Next, fourth one, using action parameters. Next, using arguments, using function arguments. Next, using environment variables. Next, using dictionary object. Next, using automation objects. VBScript automation objects. Here, without data table, directly you can fetch the data. Say, read test data directly. Read test data directly from a text file and connect. Next, read test data directly from an Excel file and connect. Next, read test data directly from a database and connect. See, read test data directly from a text file and connect using file system object. Next, read test data directly from Excel using Excel application object. Next, read test data directly from database using database connection object and database record set object. See, these are the maximum possibilities for parameterization. We will discuss all possibilities, but you no need to use all methods in any project. All methods for any project based on your company environment you can follow. Okay na Kanti? All possibilities are ways of parameterization.
Yes, sir.
First I am taking generate and pass. Generate and pass values using loop statements. Observe, passing values okay, but what is generating? Means here loop statements only generate test data. For example, for I equal to 1 to 10, here that loop statement only generates the data 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. See, but some limitations are there. We cannot generate string type data. Suppose usernames, passwords, we can't generate. See, using loop statements, we can generate some types of data. Suppose if it is user ID or password, we can't generate. Then how to use? Use resource file. Test data file is resource. See, just passing values, that is parameterization. Maintaining test data, that is another concept. Use resource file. Resource file means here test data file is resource. See here two possibilities. Using loop statements we can generate some types of test data. What type of data? We can generate sequential numbers. Example 1, 2, 3 like that, or any sequence. I want to start from 23, 24, 25, any sequence. Next, we can generate logical numbers. For example, I want to open only even numbers 2, 4, 6, 8 like this, or only odd numbers 1, 3, 5 like this, or every 10th record up to 100, 10, 20, 30, 30 like that. Next, limitations for generating the data. We can't generate desired numbers. For example, I want to open first record 1, 7, 23, 45. No. Here no sequence, no logic. Next, we can't generate string type data. We can't generate alphabets, etc. Example, username, suppose customer name, password, etc. Okay na Madhuri? Then how to
Okay,
use this type of data, string type of data in this usage? Suppose we can't generate string type data using loop statements, but I want to use string type data only using loop statements. Then how?
We can use variables.
No. You tell me, Sujata.
So we can put the test data in a file and
Yes. You use resource. Test data file. Test data file is resource. Say, if it is sequential numbers or logical numbers, you generate and pass values using loop statements. Suppose if it is desired numbers or string type data, take resource. Test data file is resource and pass the value, just passing values using loop statements. Okay na? Madhuri, any confusion?
No sir. Okay sir.
Okay. See, I will show you example. Suppose open order functionality. Observe. Open an order. Stop. If you want to observe the test execution process, insert wait statement. It is optional. Put base state and run the script. 1, order number 1 executing. Next, I want to open 1 to 5 orders. Don't concentrate on loop syntax that we will discuss in VBScript loop statements chapter. Now just a situation demanding, that's why I am using loop statements. See, for variable equal to variable, any meaningful name you can use. Suppose order number, not only I, you can use any meaningful variable. 1 to 5. Step 1 means increment 1. And one more thing, in for loop, step 1 optional for single increment. If it is other than 1, increment required. If it is 1 increment, step 1 optional. place next at the end of the script. Observe, it will open 1 to 5 orders. Just a minute. Just a minute. Open 1 to 5 orders. Okay. Just a minute. First put base state. What is base state? Required state for running the test. Run 1. Oh, we didn't pass the parameter. That's why every time it is using 1 only. 5 times 5. Every time 1 only. See, pass variable as parameter. Don't use double quotes for parameters. Put base state and run the script. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. See sequential numbers. Sequential numbers. Next, I want to open even orders up to 10. Tell me, Sujata. I want to open even orders. Means only 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. Up to 10.
Yes, logical numbers they are, and
Tell me the logic.
so the order number is equal to 2,
Yes, 2.
4, 2 to 6.
2 to 10. What is
2
our
to 10,
requirement?
step 2.
Step 2.
Up to
Run the script. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. See, logical numbers. The previous example, sequential numbers. This time, logical numbers. Any logic. Next, Kanti. I want to open first 5 orders in reverse order. I want to open first 5 orders.
5 to 1, sir.
Just a minute. In reverse order. Okay. 5 to 1. Enough?
No, sir. Regarding step 5, I'm confused.
Step -1. Run. See, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Next, within loops, you can insert conditions also. Suppose my requirement is open open first 5 orders except fourth order. Means I want to open 1, 2, 3, 5. Fourth order not required. Condition. Tell me, Sujata.
But order number is equal to 5 to 1.
5 to 1. Why 5 to 1? Here no reverse order. Open first 5 orders except fourth. 1 to
1 to 5.
1 to 5. Step 1 only. Next, except fourth na. See condition required. If order number not equal to diamond operator, not equal, just remember this operator. Anyhow, we will discuss operators in VBScript operators chapter. See, what is the meaning of this condition? If order number not equal to 4, then execute this open order test. First it checks order number 1 not equal to 4. Second one, third one, fourth one not equal to 4. No, it bypass the, skip that fourth order. Next fifth order not equal to 5, it will execute. 1, 2, 3 executes. 1, 2, 3 execute. Fifth also, but except 4.
Sir? Sir, can we use the AND operator in the first statement?
Pardon?
AND operator, sir.
End.
And order number not equal to 4.
Observe. In for loop, no operators and no other conditions. Here only we need to specify the range. Getting?
Okay, sir.
Operators can't be used in for loop.
Okay, sir.
Only range of numbers, records, range of records, any range, and increment, any increment, but no operators and no other conditions in for loop, isn't it? That is invalid syntax.
Okay, sir.
Run, observe. 1, 2, 3, 5, 4 not executed. Okay na? Kanti, did you observe that one?
Yes, sir, but my doubt is like 5 orders in reverse, you told to put a loop for order number 5 to 1, step -1, I am not able to understand that step minus.
Reverse order na. Suppose first 5 to 1. 5 to 1. Observe. Which one is first one? First it will execute fifth order na.
Okay.
5. Next 5 minus 1, 4 na.
Okay.
Suppose if we use step 1, what will happen? 5 to 1 okay, range okay. First it will execute fifth order. Next step 1 means 5 plus 1, sixth. Here no sixth range na, invalid range na.
Okay, sir. Okay, thank you.
Okay. -1 only. Okay na, Sujata? Understand this logic? Condition within loop statements?
Yes, sir.
Any confusion?
Sir, a little confusion with this conditional statement, sir. If order number is not equal to 4, then we are activating the.
Then execute the script.
Window. Okay, sir. Yes, sir. Not equal to 4.
Not equal to 4, execute the script. If equal to 4, don't execute.
Okay.
See here, one-way condition. This is one-way condition. No else part na.
Yes, sir.
It is one-way condition. One-way condition means if condition is true, then execute. Otherwise, don't do anything.
Okay.
First it checks 1. 1 not equal to 4 or not?
Not equal to 4, sir.
Then it will execute. Means condition is true. Next 2.
Okay.
Condition is true, it will execute. 3. 4. 4 not equal to 4. Condition is true or false?
Condition is true.
4 not equal to 4. Condition is true.
Condition is false, sir.
False. Then it won't do anything.
Okay, sir.
Next 5. 5 not equal to 4. Condition true. It will execute. See, observe. This is negative condition and one-way condition. Negative and one-way. Just a minute. This is not equal to operator. Otherwise, just a minute. Using not operator. This is logical operator. If not, order number equal to 4. This is another usage. Observe. Run the script. 1, 2, 3, 5. Okay na? This is also negative condition. If not, order number equal to 4. Any confusion?
No, sir.
Okay. See, you can use either not equal to operator or not operator. Okay. Not equal to operator is comparison operator. Not operator is logical operator. Anyhow, that we will discuss in VBScript operators chapter. Next, observe Kanti, small extension, small enhancement in my requirement. I want to open first 10 orders except 4th and 7th orders. This time I want to skip two orders in different places. Provide the logic.
1 to 10 for order number 1 to 10.
1 to 10, step 1, okay.
If order number
Here not equal to syntax is simple syntax. Just a minute. If order number not equal to 4 and operator, and is logical operator, and again don't write 7 directly, again order number not equal to 7. Okay na?
Yes.
Just a minute. Run the script. 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 8, 9, 10. See, we have used all logical numbers and sequential numbers. We can't use desired numbers and string type data. Observe. Next, my example is login functionality. Login. Enter agent name, enter password, click OK button. Just a minute. After login, close the window. Put mute. Run the script, run it once, perform dry run, sample run to make sure whether the script is executing without errors or not. Now I want to pass multiple values for this login functionality. Can we generate test data for this test, Sujata?
Yes, sir.
Can we generate?
Data.
How can you generate agent name? Agent name is string type data, na?
Yes, sir. Like we can pass it through a resource.
Yes. Say using resource file we can perform data driven testing. Okay, one small concept is there. Without resource also, without resource file also, we can perform data driven testing. That concept is dynamic submission of test data. Dynamic submission of test data. But this is not recommendable for large amount of data. See, using this feature, tester can provide all types of data.
Windows update. Restart your PC.
Put mute, Aarti. Using this feature, tester can provide all types of data. But it is not recommendable. It is not recommendable for large amount of test data. Only for small amount of test data. Why? For every iteration, user interaction is mandatory. For every iteration, user interaction is mandatory. But sometimes it is very useful feature. When? That I will explain. Before that, you try to use dynamic submission of test data. Here I am taking two variables, agent equal to read data using input devices, input box, It is also built-in function of VBScript as like MSG box, input box, any meaningful message, enter agent name, next password, input box of enter password. See, pass variables as parameters. Next, use loop structure for I. Here I just dummy, just for iterations. I equal to 1, 2, 3. Observe, run the test. See, it is asking enter agent name. Suppose Hyderabad. Enter password Mercury. See, it is taking Hyderabad Mercury. Just a minute. Just a minute. Insert wait statement in order to observe the test data. See, it is taking Hyderabad. Next, Mumbai. It is taking Mumbai. Next, London. See, it is taking London. This is about dynamic submission of test data. Okay, na Sujata? What is the drawback of this usage? Madhuri, tell me drawback of this usage. Why nobody responding?
It is not recommended for large amounts of data.
Why?
Because human interaction is needed.
Yes, user interaction is required for every test iteration. Okay. Next, but it is useful for feature for some situations. Just a minute. Sujata, can you hear me? Not responding.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I was in mute.
Say it is not recommendable for large amount of test data, but for some scenarios, it is very useful feature. What is that scenario? See, for CAPTCHA fields, it is useful feature. You know what is CAPTCHA? What is CAPTCHA, Sujata?
That box will appear, sir, to test whether it is a human user or not.
Yes. CAPTCHA means verification code. Verification code that is dynamic. Say, observe. Nowadays, every public web application using CAPTCHA field. Every public web application. For example, Gmail. Observe. Suppose this is Gmail create account functionality. Next, I want to perform data-driven testing for this create account. Here some fields are there. For example, 10 fields are there. First name, last name, choose username, create password, confirm password, date of birth, gender, phone number, etc. For all these fields, I can prepare test data in Excel file or text file. But here one CAPTCHA field is there. It is mandatory field. We can't prepare test data for CAPTCHA fields before execution. It is dynamic. Every time it shows different value. By reading the value only you can enter. So in order to enter CAPTCHA field values, then dynamic submission of test data is only option. Okay na?
Yes.
Next, see first two usages we completed. One is generate and pass values using loop statements. Next, dynamic submission of test data. Next, third one, using data table. Using data table. Using data table. See, in UFT tool features chapter, I explained, I introduced data table. What is data table? See once again, what is data table? It is an integrated spreadsheet for data related operations. It is an integrated spreadsheet for data related operations. How to launch? View menu, data. Next, it has two types of sheets, not two sheets, two types of sheets. Observe left side bottom, global sheet, action sheets. See in this test only one action, so one action sheet. Suppose if we have 4 actions in this test, it will create 4 action sheets. See, data table has two types of sheets. One is global sheet, another is action sheets or local sheets. Next point, UFT attach one data table for every test. It is not tool level feature, test level feature. If we create 100 tests in your project, then UFT attach 100 data tables. See, UFT attach one data table for every test. Okay. Next, data table located in two areas. One is in UFT tool main window. Here name is design time data table. Another location, UFT tool result window. Their name is runtime data table. Runtime data table nothing but carbon copy of design time data table. What is the use of runtime data table? That I will explain in practical. Next, usage of data table. Enter test data directly into data table and connect to the test. Import data from external files, either text files or Excel files, and connect. Next, import test data from a database and connect. Okay. See, steps. Steps for data-driven testing using data table. See, these are the common steps. First step, generate the basic test. Generate the basic test and run it once. Why running the test once? Dry run to make sure whether the test is executing without errors or not. See, test run two types. Dry run means sample run. Next, real run. Real run purpose testing. Dry run purpose to make sure whether the script is executing without errors or not. See, generate the basic test and run it once. Next, launch data table and enter or import. Common steps. Enter or import test data. Next, connect. Test is different, test data is different. We need to connect test data with the test. Connect test data with the test. Next, run the test. See, these are the 4 steps. Next, for connecting, we have 3 possibilities. You can use any one, but try to use editor view only. That is important one, not only important, best one. Say, using editor view, we can connect, or using keyword view we can connect, or using data driver. This data driver wizard available in tools menu. See, best one is editor view. Tell me, Kanti, steps for data driven testing using data table.
Generate the basic test and run it once. Launch a table and enter or import test data. Connect data to the test using editor view or keyword or data driver. The best purpose is editor view. on the test.
Okay, good. See, first generate the basic test. I'm taking a new test. Suppose login functionality. Enter agent name, enter password, click OK button. After launching, close. Stop recording. Run it once. Executing. Next step, launch data table, view menu, data. First, enter test data directly into data table. Next, we will discuss importing. See, place mouse pointer at column header and double click. You can rename the column names. Suppose agent. It is optional. You can use same names, AB. Double click. Password. Next, prepare test data. Suppose test 1. Test 2. See here, I am not using any invalid inputs, just valid inputs. The next examples, I will use valid and invalid inputs. I think tomorrow we will use valid and invalid inputs. See, in this sample application, fixed password, but in real-time applications, you can use different passwords. Say I prepared agent 5 sets of test data, test 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, second step over. Third step, connect. See, we have 3 possibilities. First, I am using editor view. First, I am using editor view. See, syntax. Data table of means open bracket. Next, column name or column ID, comma, sheet name or sheet ID. See, you try to use IDs, column ID, comma, sheet ID. Simple. Say. See, connect test data. See, this time I am using data table parameters. Data table parameters. Data table of agent name, column ID 1, sheet ID 1. First column, first sheet. Next, tell me Sujata, password, connect.
Data table.
Data table.
2 of 1.
Good. Second column, sheet same, first sheet. If you want to observe the test execution process, insert wait statement, it is optional. Observe, run. See test 1, put mute, test 1, executing, test 2, test 3, test 4, next last one, test 5. Next, using keyword view also you can connect. Suppose that constant values as it is. Suppose A, B, C, D, Mercury. Switch to keyword view, view menu, keyword view. Here select agent name value in value column, ABCD in value column, configure the value. See, instead of constant, select parameter. Here type of parameter, data table only. Next, column name, agent, sheet, global sheet, it is already selected. Okay. Next, password, configure the value, parameter, data table parameter, column password, sheet global. Switch to editor. See, same. Earlier we used IDs, column ID, sheet ID. This time column name, sheet name, column name, comma, sheet name. Okay, for column names we have to use double quotes, string type data, but DT global sheet, it is reserved word, no double quotes, reserved word. You can execute. See test 1 executing, test 2, test 4, last record test 5. Next, using data driver also we can connect. Suppose constant values as it is, agent name ABCD, it is constant value, password Mercury. Go to tools menu, tools, data driver. Here select first agent name ABCD, parameterize all, parameter options. Here data table, select the column, agent, sheet global only. Okay, finish. Next, select password value, parameterize, parameter options, parameter type data table only, data table only. Next, column name, password, sheet global only. Okay, finish. Okay. See, same generated. Column name, comma, sheet name. Okay, na Sujata, any confusion? Aarti. Madhuri. Hey, nobody responding.
Sir,
No confusion, sir.
Okay.
sir, I have a question, sir. I'm asking why edited view is better than all the other two, sir.
Who is asking?
Sujata, sir.
Sujata. See, tomorrow you can get answer for your question. See, if you enter data, data is ready, then columns available. Suppose if you import data, then columns not ready. That time, in tomorrow class, you can get clarity. You can get answer.
Okay.
Why? Good question. Why editor view only the best one? Tomorrow you can get answer. Just a minute. I'm taking new test. A record. See, same login functionality. Next, you import test data from external files. Import test data from external files. See, we can use either text files or Excel files as resource files. If we use text file as resource, then two syntax rules. See, we can use text files or Excel files as resource files. If we use not text, if we use text files, if we use text file as resource, then two syntax rules. One is data table considers text file first line as field headers. Next, tab tab space is the delimiter. Tab space is the delimiter in between two fields. Next, if we use Excel file as resource, then one syntax rule, only one syntax rule. Anyhow, here delimiter not required. Delimiter not required. Why? Excel has tabular format, rows and columns format, so no delimiter required, but only one syntax rule. What is that syntax rule? Data table, just a minute. Data table considers just a minute, text file. Here Excel. See, first one text file, next one Excel file. Data table considers Excel file first row. First row as field headers. Okay, now tell me, Aarti, what are the syntax rules if it is text file?
Data table consider for the text file first line as a column header, and in between two fields, tab space is a delimiter.
Delimiter, okay.
Delimiter, yeah.
See, test 1 tab password, test 2 tab password. See, forget about alignment. Tab space is the delimiter. Next, test 5 Mercury. Save. Next, Excel. Suppose file name input. Test 1. First line first row column headers na. Agent password. Mercury, sorry. Test 1. Mercury. Observe. Data. Place mouse pointer on data table and right click. file, import from file, column headings in the imported file should match. OK. Browse path of the file, file available on desktop. See first text file, data, import. Data imported na? Observe Sujata. Sujata.
Yes, sir.
Data imported na?
Yes, sir. That important.
Say, observe. Next, connect test data with the test. If it is editor view, you can easily connect. How? You know the syntax. Data table of column name or column ID or sheet name or sheet ID. Here agent column ID 1.
Yes.
You can easily connect. Data table of 1 comma 1. Okay. Suppose I want to connect using keyword view. Observe. View menu, keyword view. Select this one. Here parameter. Here select column name. Connect. Next using data driver wizard also. Remaining steps common steps. Okay na?
Yes, sir.
See, just a minute. Taking new test. Launch data table, view menu, data. Tell me the navigation Kanti. I want to import data from external text file available on desktop. Madhuri. Sujata.
I click on the data table.
Right. Place mouse pointer on data table anywhere and right click.
And right click file. Import
file. Okay. Browse path of the file.
Browse the path of the file.
See file name data. Select the file and open. Imported. Okay na? Next yes. Excel. Same. Remaining steps common. Place mouse pointer on data table and right click file, import file. Okay. Input. File name import. See imported na?
Yes, sir.
See remaining steps common. Generating basic test common. Connecting test data common. Running the test common. See earlier we entered data directly. This time importing. Okay. Next one more usage also there that we will discuss tomorrow. Just I will explain steps. What is that third usage? Database
objects.
Here not objects. Objects is different. Is only data table.
Just data
table. Database object concept different. See here steps. First step, create a database for test data. Second step, create tables. One-time activity. These two are create database one-time activity, create tables one-time activity. Next, enter test data. These are preliminary steps. Next, see if it is file, no formalities for importing. See if it is file, no formalities for importing data. If it is database, in between front end and back end, connectivity required. See in this scenario, front end is UFT tool, back end is our test database. DSN required. UFT has provided a facility to create DSN. Tomorrow I will show how to create DSN. See, create DSN. DSN stands for data source name. Next, last step, fetch test data using SQL commands. UFT supports SQL statements directly in UFT tool editor. Already we discussed. UFT has an integrated MS Access engine, database engine. Okay, we will meet tomorrow, same time. Thank you.